Okay, perfect. Okay, everyone, welcome tonight here. So I am so excited to do this. We are going to do just a really quick 15 to 20 minute brief kind of rundown of like what the heck is this Arbonne? How it works, how this could work for you, what it could look like for you. Is this worth your time? And honestly, what are the possibilities that you can have with this business? There's been so much kind of flutter and curiosity about this. I really wanted to bring it all here in one place. And the one thing that I ask of you is honestly just to have like an open heart. And I notice I'm not saying mind because honestly, I'm going to tell you, our mind sometimes tries to trick us into things. We have like a big ego. I'm not sure you about you, but sometimes I do that kind of like tries to keep us safe. So I'm saying an open heart because just have that curiosity, have that like that wonder about like, ooh, could this work for me? Is this something that I could do? And just really think about the possibilities that this business could bring to your life, and some things that I'm going to share with you right now. That's all I ask, is just to have a little bit of some openness. So my name is Kimberly Jetty. I am a area manager, independent consultant here in beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. I live on a farm with my three children, 9, 7, and 4, all boys. Have a farm, 320 acres, have a full-time career as a professional pharmacist. I have a very busy life. Arbonne was something that I found actually through basically I was looking for really great skincare. Nothing earth-shattering. I was looking for something that was going to work for my skin. I quickly learned that there was a really incredible business opportunity attached to this. And I was just looking for community, something of positive, like-minded women who were in a very similar season of me. And I was looking for a way that I could also earn some extra money on top of my pharmacist income, just to be able to have a little bit more flexibility in life. So now, 3 years later, I'm working on replacing my pharmacist income by working through the kind of like management plan, our compensation plan, which I'm going to touch briefly on. And I just have to say that when I first started, I didn't have much vision, and that's okay. I just wanted a few extra $100 and to have this community of incredible women. But once I started to like really catch the vision and see what this business could bring me, is when things really started to escalate. And now here I am, 3 years later, building to the top 2%. So with that being said, I just want you to know that you do not have to be a Pilates instructor, someone like, Pilates instructor, fitness, expert, anything within nutrition. You really just have to have that open heart and mind and be willing to learn a little bit, get a little bit out of your comfort zone, and honestly have a zest for helping other people. You can do what you do alongside a full-time career like myself. You can run this with, chill with a business that maybe you're already doing, excuse me, like schooling, kind of losing my train of thought there. I mean, you can do whatever you want. This can be um, however you want to do it. One thing I hear from a lot of people is about like what kind of success this can bring into your life. And my answer for that is this brings opportunity, and opportunity can bring success. So it doesn't matter how many followers you have, whether maybe you're a little bit socially awkward, you don't like, you're a little bit of an introvert like myself. Or maybe you're a little quirky. Those are all really great, authentic things that you can bring and people will connect with. Okay. So what about, I told you a little bit about my journey. So what about little is Arbonne? Okay, so Arbonne is a 45-year-old company. We're just getting into some hard facts here. We have over 450 products that can fit very easily into people's lives. However, I find myself really concentrating mostly on just some of our main core, excuse me, nutrition lines, and then our skincare. Basically, I like to say that we have everything from like cradle to casket. That sounds kind of morbid, but I mean, we got things for babies and we got things for your grandmas. So what that means is that we have a variety of products that people can choose from. We're just not niche down to like one wellness drink. We're not niche down to just like one skincare. You can literally have Arbonne in like every little aspect of your house, down to like your skincare, your hair care now that we just launched, to your nutritional supplements, to things that you could use for your children, to things like sunscreen, makeup. Like we more than just offering that like one specific thing, like one specific gut drink. We offer a lifestyle for people, which is really nice because the next thing I'm going to say is that so many people's shopping habits have changed. When people want to go and look for products, they're not going to malls anymore. They're going to things like Instagram. They're looking on Amazon. They're looking for better, high quality, non-toxic products, and Arbonne is going to offer that for them. So with that being said, we have a ingredient policy that bans over 2,000 ingredients. So we have a very clean, non-toxic brand. You don't have to worry about Googling big names. Arbonne has already done that for you. And we have a very strict kind of like policy of standards. So that's third-party testing, um, uh, ethical standards, so sourcing standards, everything like that to the highest degree. That's one thing that I'm very proud of as a pharmacist to support this pure, safe, and beneficial because I know as a consumer, as a pharmacist, as a mom, and also supplying that to my clients and representing the brand, it's something that is like very like luxury, shall we say. We are also B Corp certified, so that means profit over planet. So we work on down to like the type of packaging they put in there, how much recycling how much of the products can be recycled. We look at, ooh, they removed the scoops from the protein and it took something like 80,000 pounds of plastic away, which is like absolutely incredible. So they are very forward focused in terms of environmental standards as well. Okay, now a little bit about what is actual network marketing. So for first of all, I'm going to say it ain't no pyramid scheme because if it was, everything is these kind of days. And honestly, sometimes when I think if you hear people say that, or if you think that, it's just because you just maybe don't really understand how the model of network marketing works. And I'm just going to teach you really quickly about how that is. So network marketing is different than a traditional store. So I want you to think of like a Sephora. So, when you're going there to buy a mascara, you've probably seen it from like one of the Kardashians. I don't know if that's still popular anymore. That's the first thing that came to my head. But you've probably seen that. Maybe they are popular. I don't know. You've probably seen that Kardashian mascara or something online, maybe like even on Instagram. So they've advertised it. Oh, it's available in Sephora. Okay. So then that mascara has to be manufactured, has to be trucked to Sephora, has to go to a storefront where someone's paying rent on that building. There has to be people to put it out. There has to be all this stuff that kind of goes into it, marketing, etc. And finally, you as a consumer goes and you pay your $120 for your mascara. I don't know if they're that expensive, and then all this stuff in between has paid for that mascara to go from the manufacturing to you, marketing, movement, trucks, rent, etc. All that kind of middleman stuff. So when you have network marketing, you are the network, you are the marketing. So the product, which is at Arbonne, goes from Arbonne's type of like warehouse directly to the client. The person in the middle is yourself. There's no advertising. There's no traditional models of like superstars or celebrities or anything like that chatting about our products, although they do get mentioned quite often on Instagram, by the way. The marketing is you. You market it to your warm network, to people to your friends and family. And by the way, friends and family don't worry about your friends and family supporting you. That's something that's not really something that's required. I'm just saying as kind of like general terms, that's who you would chat about. Think of it as just kind of sharing a product that you absolutely love. When's the last time that you had something that you absolutely loved and you told someone about it? And when you told that someone about it, they're like, you know what? I actually was kind of thinking about, I might need that too. Say it's like a lipstick or something. You're like, oh, that looks really great on you. And you're like, yeah, it's Arbonne. And they're like, oh, where do I get that from? You're like, well, you get it from me, right? Instead of going to Sephora. Then what happens is that you, as a consultant, gets paid as a commission for that product. The rest of the money is saved in the rest of the money, like all the stuff that was in between from before, goes into product development. It goes into, like I said, consultant commissions. So you're actually getting a better quality product with all this kind of like fluff in between. It's a brilliant model. And there's been a lot of different types of companies that have actually switched to network marketing because it just honestly makes more sense because consumer habits have switched to going online. So that's just kind of something to think about. Like, when's the last time you stepped in a mall? When's the last time you bought something by going and browsing? I bet you bought it from a recommendation from a friend. You saw something online. You bought something off a link. That is how people are purchasing right now. And you, as a consultant, can be at the cutting edge of that, earning an income simply by sharing things that you love on your phone. It's so brilliant. Sometimes it makes my head spin. Okay. I can't think of like why more people aren't doing this, to be honest. So how do you make this money? Okay, there's 4 ways. The first one is commissions. We have a code, preferred clients, and then overrides and bonuses. So for commissions, that can be anywhere from 35 to 15%. So we have a retail price on all of our products, and you can purchase something at retail, and you as a consultant gets 35% of that. So say it was something that was $100, the person would pay $100, you would get $35 of that. That's your commission. The next way, and most people don't do that because they don't opt into our really awesome preferred client program, which is then you get 20% of that commission. So say, for example, that product was $100. They pay 80% of that. You get the 20%. So then you get $20 on that. Okay. On that sale. That preferred client program, which is a loyalty program, it helps with give the client really great. It's kind of like a Costco card. So they get no auto ship or no minimum. So they're never locked into anything. And that's really important for some people. However, we do have a really great auto ship program that they could opt into. That's really great for the customer. They get free shipping. They get free gifts on their account with qualified orders. It's honestly such a great loyalty program that Arbonne has that most people, 9 out of 10, take advantage of this. What that does for you as a consultant is that it gives you kind of like a client base that's loyal to you and is actually like kind of like assigned to you for at least a year. So therefore they have a full year of doing their shopping, of ordering their hair care, of trying out the skincare. And your job as a consultant is simply just to make recommendations to them and kind of help them. You can do some personal shopping for them. It's very simple and easy. And again, it's all done for your phone. And every single time they order, regardless whether it was at day 0 or day 180, you get that 15% commission. Okay. Everyone kind of understanding that. So it's a really great, like a lot of affiliate programs are sometimes anywhere from like 8% and Arbonne's is 15%. So it's actually very, very competitive, and you can easily make your commission back. You can easily make your startup cost back, which I'm going to chat about in one quick sec, with one sale, which is crazy. The next one is we have an Arbonne 10 code. So that would be for someone who is just like, yeah, I just want to try out this mascara. I don't want to pay retail. I don't want a preferred client. You give them this Arbonne 10, it takes them 10% off. The second way, and then you would get 25% commission. The second way is overrides and bonuses. So when you start to work your way through the compensation plan, which I'm going to chat about really briefly in a minute, you are eligible for an override or a percentage of payment on your total team sales. So you would get commission plus total team sales. And let me tell you, that adds up. And also cash bonuses at every single level, which do change where you are in your management level. So how do you get started with this? One big thing that I love is that there is no starter bundle with this. There's no things that you're going to order that's going to cost you hundreds of dollars and just going to sit on your shelf. Usually I do recommendations for everyone. It would be either to start with our most popular nutrition bundle, which is about $243, or a skincare set. And if you have the budget for both of them, you are not required to order anything monthly. You're not required for any auto ship minimums, and it's $65 to get started. And you actually get a box of fizz for free with that. So kind of girl math is you're getting a box of fizz for free, plus a business that can earn you hundreds of dollars for $65. Mind blown. I don't know if your mind is blown, but my mind is blown. Okay. So you simply choose what works into your budget, and then you can get started very easily. So what are the levels of management here that I've been kind of slowly kind of like trickling in? So we have 4 levels of management. So it's not complicated with Arbonne. We have a consultant, which is where everyone starts. District manager, area manager, regional vice president, and national vice president. I really feel like I wouldn't be doing you any kind of like service if I didn't mention a little bit about the possibility that this business can create, because that's how you know it's going to be worth it. If someone hadn't told me that I could create anywhere by $10,000 a month with this business, and they just said, well, you might make an extra couple $100, it wouldn't be worth it to me. Like, honestly, it wouldn't be. But if someone, when I started to really gain the vision and learn that, with consistency and work ethic and, putting in the time that it's going to take, which is 5 to 8 hours a week for me, I can earn $10,000 a month with this. Like, Now you got my attention, okay? So district manager is their first level of management. With that, you earn your 15% commissions and a total override on all your team sales once you promote. It takes on average anywhere from 3 months to 6 months for a consultant to do that. And you can earn anywhere from $200 to $500. Those are average earnings. So what would you do with an extra $200 to $500? Just kind of think in your head, like what would that pay for? The second level of management is area manager. That's where I am at. So I get paid a 8% on all my total team sales. Average earnings are anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 per month. And I can attest to that I do make that over and above some months. And this is also where your business is willable. So what that means is that the business that I have created, I can hand down to my husband, Harley, and he can hand down to my children. It goes down for 7 generations. Okay. Now, if I was to die at Shoppers Drug Mart, they wouldn't be like, oh, we're going to, give your earnings that Kim would have had for the next 7 generations. They would just go find another pharmacist. Okay. Arbonne doesn't do that. They recognize that it's been time and effort building this, and they want to see that legacy continue. They believe in legacy. They believe in building a vision and a legacy for their consultants. It's honestly, it's so incredible. The next one is regional vice president, which is where I'm headed next. My girlfriend, who is 400 followers on Instagram, a pharmacist, a mom of 2 boys, lives on small town Saskatchewan, promoted to this in November. So average earnings of this is anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 per month. It's also where you get a Mercedes-Benz stipend or a cash bonus of your choice. You can have the car or you can just get cash, whatever works for you. It takes anywhere from 3 to 4 years to promote. It took me 6 years to get my degree. And if I keep on the trajectory that I'm on, and building and helping other women and creating impact, I'll have my Mercedes by the end of this year, which is my plan. And if, it's on God's plan, if it takes a little bit longer, it does. Okay. I'm just showing you that there's possibility and vision associated with this. The next is national vice president. That is where the average earnings are anywhere from $22,000 a month. And there are people who are promoting to this level and the RVP and area manager and district manager every single month within this company. It is booming. It is like expanding rapidly in Canada. There is room for everyone. There is abundance. There is no saturation. There is room for everyone to create impact within their own networks. So a little bit about kind of like fears and hesitations that I know that you might be having. They're all normal. It's all normal to feel a little bit scared when something is new. The only thing that I can say is that no one has ever died by starting an Arbonne business. Okay. And if that happens, I know how to do CPR. It's just like something new and it's getting you a little bit outside of your comfort zone. But everything that you're wanting, whether it's financial, whether it's community, whether it's better physical health or mental health, or just being a more positive person, is on the other side of that on the other side of that discomfort. And I know that from personal experience and from seeing even the growth within my team and my consultants and the friends that I have that I've been doing this with for the past three years. So that is honestly all that I have here for you today. That's kind of the quick and dirty of really what this looks like. I don't want to regurgitate too much information on here, but I do ask that you go away and just think about this one thing. If you were to continue doing what you were doing right now, where do you see your life being in the next 3 to 5 years? And that question, when somebody asked me that, hit me really hard because it was going to be like doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. And I didn't want to be doing that. I wanted to have more choices in my life. And selling fizz and protein was not exactly what I had in mind, but let me tell you, it's opened up so much possibility that I didn't even know what existed. And I would just encourage you to think about that, reach out to the person that invited you here or had that thought that they would really think that this would be something for you, because that's really what it is. They had it on their heart to ask you and put themselves out there on the other side of discomfort to be like, hey, would you take a minute to look at this? Because I really think that this would be something that would serve you. Just, give it a really give it a good thought. Yeah. And so that's all that I have for you tonight. I hope you guys really took something away for this. If you have any more questions, just reach out to your consultant and they can answer them for you.